We live in a highly interconnected world where keeping the peace requires constant, top-level coordination. Leaders gather in rooms just like this one, working to maintain global stability and manage complex economic systems. Yet outside those highly controlled environments, society fractures. Communities split along ideological lines, and civil unrest spills into the streets, seemingly resistant to any top-down solutions. At the root of all this friction, whether it's a tense argument at a family dinner or a diplomatic breakdown between nations, are the exact same emotional drivers: pride, jealousy, arrogance, and a constant drive for one-upmanship. Back in prehistoric environments, aggressive posturing toward a sudden movement in the grass secured territory and deterred predators. These high-speed responses were essential tools for survival, enabling early humans to react to threats long before the conscious mind could even process them. The physical environments we navigate have modernized, but the human brain still executes that same prehistoric code. Those fast-twitch survival reflexes now trigger during boardroom meetings and online debates, creating a biological mismatch that manufactures conflict where none actually needs to exist. Operating with these prehistoric instincts becomes catastrophic when paired with modern hardware. We are navigating a global landscape with Stone Age impulses, while managing highly interconnected, nuclear-armed systems that can destabilize global food and energy supplies in an instant. When faced with this level of threat, we often retreat into art and philosophy. We write songs about living in peace and appeal to our better angels. But a beautiful sentiment does not disarm a warhead, nor does it override the hardwiring of an aggressive dictator. Survival now requires moving past wishful thinking. We need to decode the exact mechanics of the human operating system, understand how it fires these hostile impulses, and learn how to consciously override our prehistoric hardware. Dr. Parag Jasani recognized that before we can fix human behavior, we have to precisely understand the tool generating it. For the last 15 years, he has focused on reverse engineering the human mind. He initially looked to historical and spiritual texts, which offer extensive ideas about consciousness. But those texts are full of contradictory explanations, and none of their claims can be objectively tested or falsified. Modern neuroscience has its own limitations. It excels at correlational observation, lighting up a scan to show us where brain activity happens. But it still struggles to provide a causal explanation of exactly how multiple physical subsystems work together to create a unified conscious experience. To find an actionable answer, Dr. Jasani anchored his research to the logic of natural selection. If the physical brain evolved through this process, the mind it produces must be governed by those exact same evolutionary rules. Anchoring the study of the mind to hundreds of millions of years of fossil records provides a chain of physical evidence. It allows consciousness to be analyzed through the same predictable, mechanistic lens we use for the rest of human anatomy. The DOS model illustrates how the physical brain processes raw data to manufacture thoughts and feelings. It defines the self not as a spirit, but a permanent functional component inside the brain. This component evaluates data and makes overriding free will decisions to secure survival. This single information processing framework successfully traces the unseen triggers for over 50 specific human experiences, mapping everything from the cycles of sleep to the precise internal mechanics of feeling insulted or arrogant. This mapping reveals the predictable causal mechanics of thoughts and emotions. It allows individuals to identify and intercept their own subconscious reactions before they lead to external conflict. Large-scale global conflicts are the aggregate expressions of individual prehistoric instincts. By neutralizing triggers like one-upmanship and arrogance across millions of people, we can systematically remove the biological fuel that causes local tensions to ignite into international warfare. To distribute this understanding, Dr. Jasani initiated the Heal the World project. The goal is to provide this psychological framework to every person on Earth in their own language. The execution relies on a vast global network of trained facilitators and tech-enabled volunteers. They are deployed to guide people through the material locally, ensuring that marginalized populations without reliable internet access aren't left behind. This is a globally scalable, assisted learning infrastructure designed to democratize mental optimization, moving far beyond the simple publication of a book to give everyone access to their own source code. We are currently navigating a deeply interconnected world where ongoing conflicts destabilize our collective survival. Upgrading how we respond to friction is an immediate biological necessity to prevent humanitarian catastrophe and global escalation. This structural understanding of the brain provides a concrete scientific foundation for the ancient Indian philosophy of Vasudeva Kutumbakam. It proves that the entire world is a single family operating on the exact same biological hardware and sharing an interconnected fate. Understanding these shared mechanisms provides a common biological language for every person on Earth. It turns the goal of global unity from a poetic ideal into a predictable outcome of individuals simply managing their own internal operating systems.